By 1911, the balance of power in Europe was rapidly shifting, and competition among industrialized states for colonies had intensified. Most of Africa had already been divided between Britain and France, while Germany had also secured its share in the colonial race. Having completed its national unification relatively late, Italy sought to establish itself as a major power in the Mediterranean and Africa. Feeling the pressure of being a latecomer empire, Italy set its sights on Tripolitania and Benghazi, the last Ottoman territories in North Africa. These lands, located in present-day Libya, were seen as an attractive target due to their strategic position and apparent vulnerability. The Ottoman Empire, however, was going through a difficult political, military, and economic period. Its navy had long been neglected and was no match for the modern Italian fleet in the Mediterranean. Moreover, since Egypt was under British control, the Ottoman Empire had no secure route to reinforce Tripolitania. The land route was blocked by vast deserts, and the sea route was dominated by enemy warships. Under these circumstances, Italy declared war on the Ottoman Empire on September 29, 1911. The Italian navy quickly began bombarding the coasts of Tripolitania. Faced with modern battleships and heavy artillery, the limited Ottoman forces in the region were forced to withdraw. Coastal cities such as Tripoli and Benghazi soon fell under Italian control. Italy initially expected a swift victory, assuming that the Ottomans would not be able to resist effectively. However, this expectation proved wrong. Although the coastal cities were occupied, strong resistance emerged in the interior regions. Unable to send regular troops, the Ottoman Empire secretly dispatched young volunteer officers to the region. Traveling in civilian clothes through Egypt, these officers organized the local population and initiated a resistance movement. Among them were Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, who would later found the Republic of Turkey, Enver Pasha, and Fethi Okyar. Without the support of a regular army, they cooperated with local tribes and waged a guerrilla war against the Italian forces. The harsh desert conditions played a decisive role in shaping the conflict. Extreme heat, water shortages, and long supply lines placed the Italian army at a disadvantage. Ottoman officers, on the other hand, employed mobile units and surprise attacks, applying hit-and-run tactics effectively. Mustafa Kemal achieved notable defensive successes in the regions of Tobruk and Derna. The resistance in Tobruk slowed the Italian advance and highlighted his military capabilities. While serving in Derna, he was wounded in the eye during combat, but continued his duties despite the injury. The war was not limited to land battles. In an effort to increase pressure on the Ottoman Empire, Italy extended its naval operations by threatening the Dardanelles and occupying the Tobruk Islands in the Aegean Sea. This move further exposed the empire's military weakness and stretched its already limited resources. The Italo-Turkish War also marked a turning point in military technology. For the first time in history, aircraft were used for reconnaissance and bombing missions. Italian pilots conducted flights over the desert to identify Ottoman positions and attempted aerial bombardments. This development signaled the beginning of a new era in warfare, where air power would become a decisive factor in future conflicts. As the war continued, the Ottoman Empire faced an even greater threat. In 1912, the Balkan states launched an attack, initiating the Balkan Wars. The prospect of fighting on two fronts forced the empire into a difficult decision. Although resistance in Tripolitania persisted, the government prioritized the defense of its European territories. Consequently, peace negotiations with Italy began. On October 18, 1912, the Treaty of Oci was signed in Switzerland, bringing the war to an end. According to the agreement, Tripolitania and Benghazi were ceded to Italy. The Ottoman Empire attempted to maintain its religious influence in the region through the authority of the Caliph. Italy declared that its occupation of the Tobruk Islands was temporary. However, the islands were never returned. As a result of the war, the Ottoman Empire lost its last territory in North Africa. This loss represented a significant stage in the empire's gradual dissolution. Italy, meanwhile, secured its place in the colonial competition. Yet the war also served as an important training ground for young Ottoman officers. The experience gained in the harsh desert conditions, particularly by Mustafa Kemal, would later shape his leadership in the Gallipoli campaign and the Turkish War of Independence. Although fought in the distant deserts of North Africa, the Italo-Turkish War foreshadowed the great upheavals of the 20th century. The Balkan Wars, followed by the First World War and the collapse of empires, would soon reshape the global order. The struggle in the sands of Tripolitania thus became a symbol of both the Ottoman Empire's final years and the emergence of a new era. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more historical documentaries.